Good evening, Brother Miles. Thank you, brother. Good to see you. So how you doing? Manny, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been, brother? How have you both been? How's everyone on Sunday? Good, bad, or just starting out, depending on where you are around the world? Pure, evening. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Mike, good day. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Or shall I say Professor Miles? Let's go. Thank you, brother. So, by the time everyone tunes in, we'll do a gist of what we're going to talk about on tonight's live show. So by the time we get, the disclaimer out the way and so on, and when we get to the first news, everyone's pretty much tuned in for it. Just put the iPhone in charge. Sorry. Here we go. Brilliant. Jason, good to see you. How you doing? Kerry, good to see you. How you doing? Tor, good to see you. How you doing? Okay, let me go back up because I missed a few people. Cass, good to see you. How you doing, brother? Up, down, or sideways? A little bit down, sideways, and up. We should be on. Come on, good to see you, brother. How you doing? Good evening, Miles. I hope you're well. And hi to all the CMF. Let's go, Addy. Tor, evening. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Kerry, what's up, Miles, and what's up, CMF? How you doing? Jason, evening. Good to see you as well. Dennis, how you doing? Good to see you as well. Solomon, good to see you as well. How you doing? Why you change your background? Monica, how you doing? Why did I change my background? It's because the platform that I'm using has this background. Good evening, Miles and all CMF. Iman, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Legend. Let's go meeting one Florin. Good to see you as well. How you doing? But yeah, Monica, it's because the platform that I'm using has this background, so I just use this background. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing great, Iman. How you doing? How you been? So, I'll do a rundown of what we're going to be talking about tonight's live show, and after that, by the time we get through the disclaimer and the intro of the live show, when we get to the first news, everyone's pretty much tuned in for the live show. So, on tonight's live show, we are going to be talking about the veteran trader, essentially Peter, not the other Peter who's against cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, but this other particular Peter who is a veteran trader in terms of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. He's very pro-Bitcoin, this particular Peter, compared to the other one. I'm going to go through his perspectives, essentially, on tonight's live show as well. We're going to go through China and the UAE news as well. So China and the UAE have came together to stop crypto crimes, generally between their own countries and also on a global basis. Now, there is also a task force as well of other countries involved. Then we're going to be talking about how CBDCs are redefining essentially international payments in terms of the global aspects of it. Then we're going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding FTX. FTX Exchange is getting very ready to refunding everyone because FTX Exchange has pretty much sold off all their Solana, auctioned off about 90% of all their crypto projects. Now that they're essentially auctioning off all their money that they invest into startup companies, they're also getting rid of all of those shareholders as well. So they're getting very close to a refund on everybody, FTX, and that could cause a bullish situation because FTX, as I said previously, is going to be refunding everyone in fiat, not in crypto, which means those people could end up purchasing cryptocurrency, which could create a wave of money coming inside the crypto sector. So yeah, FTX is getting pretty much closer and closer day by day to getting ready to refund everyone. Then we're also going to be going through another hacking situation that happened inside the crypto space as well today. We're also going to be going through regarding the US Navy. The US Navy has essentially launched a blockchain project. We'll go through that on tonight's live show as well. A very secure blockchain project the US Navy has launched, according to their own words. And we're also going to be going through on tonight's live show regarding Coinbase and Blockstream. Apparently, Coinbase has been stifling donations to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump recently on his own website said he's accepting cryptocurrency donations from in terms of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin, and so on. And apparently, Coinbase was supposed to be the middleman for these transactions, and Coinbase wasn't transferring the Bitcoins to Donald Trump in terms of donations, was actually stopping them in some sort of a way. And Coinbase has been called out about this from another CEO. We're also going to be going through Oklahoma on tonight's live show as well, and how they're about to be passing a major crypto tax exemption bill in Oklahoma. which is going to be great for them because also a lot of business could go and start up there as well, which is good for their economy. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Qatar. Qatar is getting ready to launch on their CBDC project using DLT and AI technology at the same time for their CBDC. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding the Tether co-founder. Apparently, Tether has came out and said that China might be, entering inside the crypto space once again. Not only that, apparently Tether is thinking about putting their headquarters in Hong Kong. Let's see how America is going to like that. I don't think it's going to go very, well with the US regarding Tether putting their headquarters in Hong Kong and being the #1 stablecoin as a US dollar. We're also going to be going through on tonight's live show regarding tokenization and how it's empowering investors and it disrupted Wall Street. And we're also going to be going through another regarding terms of data. But before we go through any of that, welcome to the CMF Live Show. If you are watching this for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF Live Show, where we talk about cryptocurrencies every night on this live show. We talk about recent news that's happening around the world. We talk about cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, regulations, politics, because it all plays in together. So, and a disclaimer of tonight's live show, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. So, welcome to the CMF Live Show, watching it for the first time ever, and we do Q&As as well, which means you ask the questions inside the comment sections, and I give you the answers, and I read everybody's comments one by one. So, if you're new, welcome to the CMF Live Show, and if you're a regular, let's go CMF, and we are live just like usual on X and YouTube at the exact same time. So before we go through the first news, let's go inside the comment section first, and then we go through the first news. Gina, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? When do you see Bitcoin creating a new alternate? And also, what do you think BTC reaches in the bull run's highest point? BTC has a high possibility of reaching around 100,000 and above. Definitely, BTC has a chance of reaching at its highest point 100,000 and above. In my opinion, 100%. It's also, just putting my opinion to the side, I mean, Standard Chartered Bank is also predicting the same outcomes. Standard Chartered Bank is predicting about 124,000 by the end of the year for BTC. HSBC Bank analysts also said the similar lines, and a few other high-profile executives and banks also said the exact same points on regarding 125,000, 124,000, 120,000. I'm saying it's going to go to 100 and plus as well. Not to 1 million, obviously, in terms of this year or whatever regarding Bitcoin, but I could see it going to 100,000. But at its all-time high, that could be any year. 1 million is possible. But this year, 100,000. I would say, it's very considering about it to go there. Now, I'm good, Miles. I'm losing faith in XRP and XLM. You're losing faith in XRP and XLM. Iman, don't worry. Everyone's been there before in terms of your crypto assets. People losing faith. Don't involve emotions in assets. I've always said this. Never involve emotions when it comes to assets or the market. If you do, then you're not very good at what you do inside the market space. You've got to be ruthless inside the market space. Any asset you purchase, you've got to understand why you're purchasing it. Some assets you buy because you're buying it for a long-term hold. Some assets you buy because you're buying it for a medium-term hold. And some you buy it for a short-term hold just to make a quick buck on it. Now, XRP and XLM are not short-term assets in any sort of a way. They're more like long-term assets that's going to create that generational wealth in the background for you. So always remember why you brought the asset in the first place. And just keep it in that category in your mind. And also, don't involve emotions. The ideology of I'm losing faith is wrong. The reason why you brought XRP and XLM is... The reason why you brought it, I'm guessing, is because of all the institutional partners and contracts and developments, back of international settlements, and so on. I'm hoping it's for those reasons, because that's where your research is supposed to be. Do you think I've ever lost hope in XRP and XLM? The answer is no, I haven't. I've never lost hope in it. You know why? Because I don't involve hope when I come to the market space. I don't involve faith when it comes to the market space. People who rely on faith inside the market space or hope inside the market space don't know what they're doing. Always remember that. Every action that I take inside the market space is based on some data that I've read and studied through, or based on the contracts, the PDF documentations that I've went through. That's the only way I do any sort of movements inside the market space. I base everything I do inside the market space on either PDF contracts or data. I don't base, whatever I buy on faith or hope it makes it and so on. I'm not in the business of hope, and I'm not in the business of faith or emotions. I'm in the business of making money. So everything I do is based on data and contracts, and that's what you should aim to do as well. Don't go for that outcome of I'm hoping this happens, or I have faith, or I'm losing faith. Don't do any of those. That makes you weak inside the market space. You want to be ruthless, but never be weak. Never do that to yourself. Scott, because being inside the market, and I've always said, if you're not the wolf inside the market space, then you're the sheep inside the market space. Always remember that. If you're not the wolf inside the market space, then you're the sheep. And the sheep are the type of people that rely on faith and hope. The wolves rely on data and contracts. Always remember that. Good evening, Miles and CMF. Scott, good to see you. How you doing? Evening. Miles, I usually go on X first, repost your show, and press the like buttons, then jump on YouTube. Funky Brother, thank you so much for doing that. Funky Brother, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for supporting me on X and on YouTube when I go live. So first you go to X, you repost, you like the live show, and then you go to YouTube to watch. Let's go, Funky Brother. I've actually seen quite a few members do that as well from the CMF. So thanks so much to everyone that's doing that as well. Thanks so much, Funky Brother, for doing that as well. Miles, how are your parents doing? How's your business doing? And did you get some rest? And I did get some rest, yeah. Business going very well. Stressful as always when it comes to business. But my parents doing very well as well. Thanks for asking, Scott. How's your family doing, Scott? How you been? Hello, Miles. Lena, good to see you. How you doing? Morning, Miles and CMF. Shelly, good to see you as well. How you doing? Morning. XRP is definitely a sleeping giant, guys. Just have, as we are very close to a massive breakout, yeah. We are very close. This case is about to end, genuinely. Miles, there is probably a good chance that a lot of dark money flowing into these campaigns, both Democratic and Republican, correct? Yes, there is a lot. I'm investing in Miles and your company. Let's go, Scott. But yeah, there's a lot of money going inside of these Democratic and Republican campaigns in terms of donations, and those donations are, in fact, dark money, let's say, in that essence. A lot of people saying 180,000 this year, or 180,000. Look, it's possible. We have 937 corporations inside of the crypto sector. 937 corporations inside of BTC ETFs, according to 13F filings that were filed in from the SEC. So there's a possibility of reaching 180,000. 100 plus is what I said, not stand by 100,000, but 100 plus thousand. Check Gary Network once. I will, no problem. I'll leave it towards the end of the live show, but I'll write it down. No problem, my note. Gary Network. Okay, I'll check it out at the end of the live show, no problem. I will purchase all XRP for those losing space. Just hit me up. Let's go, Scott. Anna, good to see you. How you doing? Hello, Miles and family. Let's go, Anna. How you doing? Aren't you considered on the huge supply of XRP? Aren't you concerned? Aren't you concerned about the huge supply of XRP token? No. Because I'm basing on essentially adoption rate. So no. I'm basing on the contracts, and by seeing the contracts and seeing the names and seeing how much inflows of money those particular companies that are contracted with Ripple have, no, not in any sort of a way am I any sort of way concerned about the token supply of XRP. It's the thing that made me stay away from it. No, that doesn't concern me whatsoever, because when I see, essentially Ripple partnering up with SPI Holdings, I look at what the inflow of SPI Holdings is. Quite large, actually. When I see Ripple partner with Standard Chartered Bank, I look at the inflow of Standard Chartered Bank. It's very high. When I look at Ripple partnering essentially, through Metico, HSBC Bank, and so on, the numbers are quite high. So their partnerships, all of Ripple's partnerships have high numbers of inflows coming in. So based on the adoption rate, 100 billion tokens and so on, it's not that much in any sort of a way. Because everybody sees the crypto space as this big. One day, the crypto space will go from this big to this big. And those numbers will not matter. I do the same, Funky. Sherry goes through the same. Can you go through your portfolio and highlight the ones that you think will keep going after the bull run, or the ones that you're not selling for sure, as I don't want to get jammed with a bunch of tax. Yeah, the ones I'm not selling and only borrowing against due to tax purposes. I'm only going to borrow against them and use them as collateral with HSBC Bank, so I don't pay crypto tax. And the crypto projects I'm going to be doing that through is XRP, I'm not selling. Basing on utility, I'm borrowing against it through HSBC Bank. XLM, doing the same thing. XDC, doing the same thing. And ACH, I'm doing the same thing as well. Everything else, it's up for sale. XRP, XLM, XDC, and ACH. Everything else I'm selling. Hello, Miles of CMF. Denise, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? I'm doing good. Let's go, Scott. How you doing? When is XRP's case? Well, we're waiting for a verdict from the judge. I mean, Ripple recently filed in a new document as well to the judge, but we're waiting for the judge to come out with some sort of a verdict. There's not much left. I do the same thing on X, then YouTube, because I lost all of my capabilities on X. Gina, thank you so much as well for doing that. Even the Miles and Crypto peeps, hope I didn't miss much. Semper, good to see you. How you doing? Perfect timing, don't worry. No, we're just going through some Q&As before we go for any of that. You think BTC... You think BTC can go to 50,000? If not, what's the lowest before the bull run takes off? Okay, the reason why BTC won't go too low, and the reason why the markets haven't played in historic patterns in any sort of a way, is because of 937 corporations. So because of 937 corporations that hold BTC ETFs, this is all according to the 13F filings in the SEC. So there's actual proof behind it. That's the only reason the markets aren't paying historic patterns, is because these corporations are coming in buying. The difference between corporate purchases and retail purchases, the retail section, they're scattered. They will buy something, a crypto project, and 6 months later they'll sell it. That's what the retail section does. The corporate section will come in and buy something and hold it for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and so on to build on it. And they only do coordinated movements. So they're not buying random projects. They're only buying what they can use or benefit from in terms of years, not months, like the retail section. So sorry about that. So in terms of that basis, BTC can't go too low, because unless these corporates do some ridiculous selling pressures at once, then it can go low and it can be manipulated to those types of prices. However, because these corporations are actually holding quite a lot and they're not selling at all, the inflows might slow down a little bit. They have, but they start to pick up again. And now BlackRock's IBIT is the #1 essentially out of all the BTC ETFs. So BlackRock is essentially dollar cost averaging inside the market space day by day, as I recently said previously as well. So the chances of it coming extremely low is not possible. 50,000 maybe, but lower than that, I don't see it happening. But it has to be extreme manipulation to go below that even. Michael Saylor believes that BTC will be worth 1 million by 2030. Michael Saylor is not the only person that believes Bitcoin will be $1 million by 2030. If I'm not mistaken, 21 Shares CEO also assumes that it's going to be 1 million by the end of 2030. You never know. From now to 2030, there's going to be a lot more corporate purchases, without a doubt. I mean, already 937 corporations. By the time we get to 2030, there's going to be a lot more institutions, a lot more corporations within the play, and a lot more money going towards the blockchain sector. So you never know. There's a high possibility of reaching those numbers. The issue is a lot of people in the crypto space assume, some crypto projects aren't going to be reaching certain prices because it's not possible. But a lot of those people need to understand that they're very small-minded. And the reason why they're small-minded is because they think, Bitcoin is not possible for it to reach a very high number, or Ethereum a very high number, or XRP a very high number, and so on and so on. It's because they keep on thinking the crypto space is going to stay this big. The crypto space is this big. It's not going to stay this big forever. It's going to go from this big to this big to this big to this big and to this big. And it's just going to grow and grow and grow. So if people just understood that the market space is going to get bigger as we move along in terms of regulations, in terms of corporate section, in terms of banks getting more involved, then we're going to reach very high price points. But some people are very small-minded as well inside the crypto space. Not you, Funky Brother. I'm just saying it as an example inside the crypto sector. George, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Miles of CMF. What about H1, Miles? Yes. H1 I'm not selling as well. Thank you, Shady, for letting me know. Are you selling H1? No, not selling H1 either. Thanks, Miles. Harry, no problem anytime. Hello, Miles. Hello, Miles. And evening, CMF. Pegs, good to see you. How you doing, Peg? How you doing? How you been? Regarding H-bar, I said I was going to sell it a while ago, but I changed my mind on it. What do you see XLM? So I'm not going to sell it anymore. What do you see XLM and XRP will change will jump to after the case. What do I see XLM and XRP are going to be jumping to after the case? It's going to go to $2 to $3 to $4 to $5. You know, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and then it would shoot back down. XRP will shoot up after the case and then shoot back down because people have been holding for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. The people have been holding XRP for 6 years and so on. So it's going to shoot up after the case. This case is done. XRP will shoot up, but it will shoot right back down because a lot of people will sell, and then it wouldn't come back to the price it's sitting at now. If it does, it will shoot right back up. But then it will go back up and stabilize at a price point before it climbs up again and stays. Climbs up again and stays. Climbs up again and stays. Miles, I'm not the one who is losing faith, brother. I'm not the one who's losing faith. Yes, I know that, cat. I'm all in on XRP. Let's go. Yeah, I know that. It was Emon, I think Emon that said it. Give us 5 low market cap projects that that are on big exchanges. I'll list them inside a Telegram group. Hello, greetings. Brett looks good. Brett has done quite well for itself, but it still is a high risk play. But it's done quite well for itself. Another crypto project similar to Brett is NOT. N-O-T. So let me just give you a little background. The same way Brett was the first meme coin on Base Network, and Brett did ridiculously well. NOT, N-O-T, is the first technically gaming and meme coin on Telegram's chain, which is essentially TON, T-O-N. And NOT has been up about 255% so far. So NOT launched here, and then it went here, and now it's just going pretty much. And the reason why NOT is doing well as well is because of Telegram's founder. Telegram's founder is holding about 1 billion NOT, and he said he's not selling until it reaches a $1 price point or something like that. So he said he's not selling. So people assume he's going to get to a $1 price point. It has 100 billion tokens, just to be a reference. But you never know inside the crypto sector. And I did mention Notcoin. When I shared everybody the news about Notcoin, when I told everybody about the Notcoin, Notcoin was sitting below 1 cent. Below 1 cent. Now it's sitting at 1 cent. Sitting at 1 or 2 cents, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm holding it because I shared the news about Telegram's founder not selling on this live show about 2 weeks ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, greetings, Brooks. Yep, does look good. Do you think interest rates have a lot to do with the bull statement about June? Yes, well, they do. Interest rates, do impact it. Bank of America, they do impact it. I'm holding massive bags of XRP and ETH. Let's go from people. But yeah, surely they do impact it. I mean, rate cuts, rate cuts in general, or interest rates, they impact the market on quite a largely base. I invested in Notcoin. Looks good though. Yes, let's go. Not first gaming meme coin on Telegram. Chain up 250%. Wow. Let's go. Prices. How your prices? Good to see as well. How you doing? But yeah, Shelly does definitely affect it. Always. I heard dealing with Telegram was sketchy. No, there's nothing wrong with Telegram. No. The reason why some people might say Telegram is sketchy is because it has scammers on Telegram. But to be fair, I mean, there's scammers on Instagram, there's scammers on TikTok, there's scammers on X, there are scammers on YouTube. Scammers are everywhere. It's just about not falling for their scams. But no, there's nothing wrong with Telegram. I'm holding XRP and will continue to hold, but sometimes it's hard because I feel it's been hyped up by some influencers and then nothing happens. You're holding XRP. Okay, Marty, I'll tell you what's wrong. So, Marty, you have said I'm holding XRP and will continue to hold, but sometimes it's hard because I feel it's been hyped up by some influencers and then nothing happens. Okay, Marty, do you know where you're going wrong with this entire XRP situation? Because you're not basing, you holding XRP on the contracts. You're basing you holding XRP on what other people say. Investors don't do that. If you're a trader, an actual investor or an actual trader inside the market space, I always say it's outside noise. Don't let your judgment be clouded by too much noise, in other words. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but opinions are not correct, and facts are facts. I've always said this. Stick to the data, stick to the facts. And, where you're going wrong is you're not holding XRP because of the contracts. You're holding XRP because you think, regarding the influencers keep on hypening up. Forget the influencers. If you want to hold a crypto project, hold it because of its contracts. Hold it because of its investments. Hold it because of its partnerships. Hold it because of the adoption rate it's going to bring, the licensing as it has. That's why you should hold a crypto project, not because some influencer told you it's going to go to the moon. That's the worst thing you should do. Notcoin is it a meme coin? Notcoin is a gaming coin, but I would say it's similar to a meme coin. Yes, I brought the bottom. Let's go. How high? How high can Notcoin go? It has 100 billion tokens. If it goes to $1, it'd be an absolute miracle. But I mean, Telegram's founder said he's not selling until it gets to a $1 mark. That's what Telegram's founder said. So 2 to 3 cents. Right now, it's here 2 to 3 cents. Does XRP still have a lawsuit and stuff? Yeah, XRP still has a lawsuit. Not a good time to buy now or wait till the next dip. I would say wait for a dip. If it doesn't come around and you really want to go for it. I mean, if you want to go for it, you can go for it now as well. Obviously not financial advice in any sort of way. Entertainment purposes only. Regarding it's 1 cent, 2 cent if you want to go for it. But typically, I would always say never chase green candles. You never chase green candles. So what goes up must come down. Nothing continues going up forever. What goes up must come down. Even, Brett coin that everybody's now talking about, Brett coin went up and then came shooting back down before it went up. What goes up must come down. So keep that in mind always. Never chase green candles is what I say. Hi, Sniper. Good to see you. How you doing? Go old school, buy the bottom, sell the top, etc. Pretty much. But yeah, what goes up must come down, always. Where can I buy a Bitcoin? Where can I buy Bitcoin? Notcoin, that is. Okay, Butch. Notcoin. Anywhere. Everywhere sells Notcoin. You could buy it on. You could go on Binance. You can go to any exchange will pretty much sells Notcoin. Any exchange. Evening, Miles and CMF. Pierce, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Last night you told us to watch for a coin if it comes out on the same chain. What chain was it again? Last night you told us to watch for a coin if it comes out on the same chain, on some chain. Oh, Velar Labs. Velar Labs, essentially, they're doing, it's an AI cancer research. Big company. They seed raised about 22 million, I think, roughly 2020. It was yesterday's live show. $22 million they did a seed round. And one of their investors was the Cardano founder, regarding this AI cancer project. Is that if they do release some sort of token, maybe it's one to look out for, or if they go on an IPO. So, Miles, you said $1 the other day for not. No, I said for hot. HOT. I'll wait a bit to see if it comes back. Yeah. I just found my notes from the other day. Do you invest in Bitcoin? Do I invest in Bitcoin? No, there's no point. There's literally no point. No, there's someone else. There's so many other projects out there that you could be looking into and towards, of research-wise, or going for it. In other words, but going for Bitcoin, absolute waste of money. And I don't recommend Bitcoin to anybody either. Look, I've always said this. If you have a small budget, then forget about Bitcoin. If you have a medium budget, forget about Bitcoin. If you have a large budget, go wild. Do whatever you want. But if you have a small and a medium-sized budget, don't go for Bitcoin. It's a waste of money. You put $2,000 into Bitcoin, it does you absolutely nothing. You put $2,000 into an altcoin, or do you wonders? You were talking about Telegram miles to watch out what happens as new coins come out. None is looking at. Yes. Sorry, happy Shelly. Thank you so much for reminding me. Yes. So yeah. Okay. Harry. Yes, I was talking about Ton. I was talking about Ton yesterday. Shelly, thank you so much for reminding me what I said yesterday. Yeah, because I got confused when Harry said that. But I thought you were talking about the Valor Labs, the AI project. Okay, now, Harry, yeah, Ton network. So I said everybody's focused right now on Solano's chain and Base network because these two chains are growing. Solano is growing, their chain in terms of meme coins and so on, they're growing day by day. Base chain for Coinbase, which is built upon OP, which is basically Ethereum, is growing as well, mainly Breadcoin, but is growing as well. And I said nobody's keeping their eye on Ton, TON, which is Telegram's chain. It was actually developed by Telegram, then dropped by Telegram developers because they were about to be sued by the SEC. And then, apparently random developers picked this project up, Ton Network, continued it forward, and then somewhere down the line, last year, Telegram made a partnership with Ton. With the network that they built themselves, they made a partnership with. It's a loophole. Essentially, what Telegram did just went through a loophole so they don't get sued by the SEC. Anyways, now putting that to one side, I said everybody's focused on Base Network for Coinbase. Everybody's focused on Solano's network for the meme coins. I said nobody's looking at Ton Network, which is for Telegram. 900 million users. Telegram has 900 million users, which is a ridiculous amount of users. And Telegram has Ton Network and now NOT. I said, if you want to look at the next chain that's going to do wonders for everyone, Telegram's network, 900 million users. Telegram does one advert with their 900 million users. That's it. I mean, they've, case closed. Which they're actually doing. Telegram is going to be doing ads. Telegram apparently said they're going to be turning their app into an everything app. X isn't the only one. So, regarding Elon Musk, he's going to be turning X app into an everything app. Telegram is aiming for the same thing. Telegram wants to be, turned into, essentially, they're going to be turning it into an everything type of app. Where Telegram's going to have a YouTube type of style going on, TikTok type of style going on, and, some other features can be added. It's going to become an everything type of app. And the one network they are running on forever is going to be Ton Network, and the only network they're building on. And they have 900 million users. So I said, everybody's focused on Base because of Coinbase. On Solano, well, because of Solano. I said, nobody's keeping focus on Ton Network. And Ton has Ton, the token, which I announced it to everyone when Ton launched. And look at where it's sitting at now compared to what it was day one, the price point, ridiculously high. And then the other coin, NOT, N-O-T, I announced the news that I said the Telegram founder is not going to be selling his 1 billion tokens. And look where NotCoin is now. It's been up 250%. I said nobody's focused on Telegram's network. Ton. That's their own blockchain. So keep your eye out on Ton network in case they release another token on their own network. I'll wait to see, yeah. But yeah, Shelly, thank you so much for reminding me. Yeah, I said Ton. Velo, right, thanks. Can you give us a heads up if you hear? No, Velar Labs, that one was the cancer one. Not Velo, Velar Labs. We'll go on a cancer project. Do you see most of your portfolio doing at least a 10x or more? Yes, definitely. I'm listening to you, Miles. I purchased 50 ton when you mentioned it over a month ago. I do plan to purchase more. Let's go, Scott. So Scott's sitting in profit right now. Okay, Ton. Can you let us know if they come out with meme coins and thanks? Yes, no problem. Harry, I'll let you know if they come out with anything. Regarding Ton Network, I'll let you know if they come out with anything. Ton coin or Ton token? Ton coin. Ton coin. The first one. NOT is on Ton 2. Yes, NOT is on Ton 2. Yep. That's why NOT seems like a good project to go into. NOT coin. Yeah, that's the one. It's got a picture of there's a black circle and then a white triangle inside of it. If I'm not mistaken, not coin. It's this one. I'll show you now. I'll show you now. It does have 100 billion tokens. But, you know, it's launched on every exchange. It's because the only reason it's launched on every exchange is because of Telegram. Because it's backed by Telegram, pretty much. Do you see it? It says this one. And this is the charts right now. I'm disappearing. There we go. So this is Notcoin. Where it's on for sale is Binance, DDust, Bybit, OKX Exchange, KuCoin, Gate.io, Bitfinex, BitGet, MEXC. Pretty much everywhere it's up for sale except Coinbase and Crypto.com. Every other exchange is listed on except Coinbase and Crypto.com, but it's on Binance, it's on everywhere. And the logo is, yeah, it's just a black square and a white triangle, and it's N-O-T. A black square and a white triangle inside of it, N-O-T. That's the ticker. And the name of the coin is Notcoin. Kraken? Oh yeah, Kraken as well. No, it's not on Kraken. It's on Binance, Bybit, OKX, KuCoin, Gate.io, Bitfinex, BitGet, MEXC, and some other random exchanges. But the reason why I see it on Binance is because of Telegram. Because it's backed by Telegram, so Telegram is pushing it. Is it on Crypto.com? No, it's not on Crypto.com. Binance, Bybit, OKX, KuCoin, Gate.io, Bitfinex, MEXC, BitGet. But because it's on all of these major exchanges, one of the majorest exchanges, Binance, you know, there's a very high chance it's going to be on Crypto.com and Coinbase very soon as well. Because it's technically not a meme coin, it's a gaming coin, but at the same time, it can be counted as a meme coin. And it's by Telegram. Telegram apparently has created this game where they're going to be giving these tokens out as well. And Telegram has 900 million users. But yeah, that's the coin. Miles, read my comment. What was your comment? Let me go back up. Let me go back up. Let me go back up. I'm holding a massive bags of XRP and Ethereum. Is that what you said? I'm XRP all the way. Let's go. Miles, I'm not the one losing faith, brother. Yeah, I know that. Michael Saylor believes that BTC will be worth 1 million by 2030. I've read all these comments. I've read all your comments. Let me go back to where I was inside the comment section so I don't miss out on anyone's comments. I was here. Do you see? No, I read that one. Okay, I was. Okay, Ton. Here we go. Not is on Ton 2. Yes. Not is on Ton. Notcoin. Yes, that's the one. Ton hot not. Say that fast 10 times. Ton not hot. Yeah. Notcoin is not on Coinbase. No, it's not on Coinbase. Can't buy it on Coinbase. No, it's not on Coinbase. Not that is it. Yeah. Kraken. No, either. No. Binance. Is it on Crypto.com? Binance. Good evening, Miles, and all CMF running late today. Hope you all had a good day. GP, I'm doing great. How you doing, brother? How you been? Miles, with my comments. Already read the comments one by one. I'm saying, is it on Crypto.com? It's not on Crypto.com, no. You didn't read Happy Pisces' comment. Must do it 10 times. Must do it 10 times. Ton hot, not, 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 ton hot, not. There you go, 10 times. Uh, just go get it. Kick USDT. Kick USDT. I don't know about that one, mate. We still haven't went through the news. We went through quite a lot of Q&As. Just got it then. Okay. So putting Telegram to one side and Toncoin to one side as well. Doing great, thank you. Let's go, JP. Let's go, prices as well. Okay. So we have quite a bit of mixture of news to go through on tonight's live show regarding veteran Peter. He's a trader and he has a quite well understanding of how the market inflows work. So we're going to go through his perspective first, and then we're going to go through China and UAE, and then we're going to go to other news, and then so we'll just go along as usual. Okay. So veteran trader Peter. Miles, I kept saying that I brought I kept on saying I brought not on crypto.com. Oh, you brought not on crypto.com. Okay, so it's on crypto.com as well. For some oddly reason, crypto.com isn't listed. Also, by the way, that's the first time your comments came up regarding that comment. Miles, I kept saying that I brought not on crypto.com. Yeah, that comment just came up right now for the first time. It's not listed on CMC. So for some oddly reason, CMC has not listed as also on crypto.com. Thank you for letting me know. What's your take on RVN? I don't know what their recent developments are, Lino. Direct message me. I'll take a look into it, no problem. I'll give you a perspective on it. Now, veteran trader. So because I got to look into it so I could give you a perspective on it. I don't know what their recent developments are, or if they have any recent developments as well. Now, veteran trader Peter Bandit. He claims that Bitcoin to eclipse fiat. Seasoned trader Peter Bandit has recently expressed a strong case for Bitcoin, suggesting that fiat currencies are on a path towards decline. Bandit's analysis essentially uses historical context and technical chart patterns to emphasize Bitcoin's increasing prominence in global finance. Bandit's case for a decline of fiat currencies. Bandit contends that fiat currencies are destined for erosion. Essentially, all fiat currencies are going to zero, apparently, according to Bandit, Peter, essentially. He supports this argument by comparing Bitcoin with the total US money supply M1 chart, based on the available data. He points out that the current ratio has not surpassed the peak last seen in December 2017. In his analysis, Bandit finds noteworthy resemblance between this chart and the Dow Jones industrial average during the 1970s and stagflation, a period marked by rampant inflation and sluggish in economic growth. So he's going way back regarding chart patterns to figure out, is fiat pretty much doomed in cryptocurrencies going forward or stablecoins going forward? The seasoned trader identifies an inverted head and shoulders pattern in both instances. Notably, this information is typically interpreted essentially as a bullish signal, hinting at a potential upward momentum for Bitcoin. Many in crypto world have bullish predictions for Bitcoin, with the former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey making a bold prediction for its future price. Dorsey sees Bitcoin reaching $1 million by the year 2030. So long time, it's a long way to go, in other words. Technical analysis and historical patterns. Bandit maintains that a technical analysis pattern that is inverted head and shoulders suggests a reversal of a previous downward trend. It compares a central tough head flanked by two higher thorns of shoulders when the price surpasses the resistance level at the shoulders. It often indicates a significant upward momentum. For Bitcoin, this pattern hints at a potential shift in momentum that could drive its value to new heights to the post of the stagflation, essentially recoveries seen in the DJIA. Now, skepticism and historical validation. Bandit acknowledges that his interpretation of pattern as a continuation of inverted head and shoulders might face skepticism, which it will, from some market analysts. to substitute his viewpoints. Band-Aid references multiple sources. Okay, regarding Peter Band-Aid, he is essentially a different Peter. We have one Peter inside the crypto space who hates Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We have another Peter who is a veteran analyst, quite well known, and he's all for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and pretty much against fiat. And according to his historic patterns and historic charts and some sources that he has provided, fiat is pretty much doomed. Look, regarding fiat being doomed, fiat was doomed a long time ago. Let's just be very honest with ourselves. Fiat has been doomed a very long time ago, but it's still surviving. You know why fiat is surviving? Because they're letting it survive. Dollars is absolutely worthless, but they're letting it survive. It's because, well, I've went into the reasons of why, because, and if I go into the reasons again, it could be a 45-minute reason of why it is, but they're letting the dollar survive, essentially. I couldn't find taking profits PDFs. Did you post them, mate? I still haven't posted them, no. I still haven't posted them yet. A lot of things going on, that's why. If I still haven't posted it, I will post it, definitely. My messages were not showing on YouTube. And I see it as on crypto.com, but you're saying no. You said it's on crypto.com as well, but I said no. It's because it's not listed on CMC. So my apologies, it is on crypto.com. But for some odd reason, CMC CoinMarketCap is not showing that it's listed on crypto.com. So I think CMC needs to update themselves to show that it is listed on crypto.com. Unless I got scammed on crypto.com. No, you didn't get scammed by Alexa. I couldn't find the taking profits PDFs. The taking profit PDFs is coming as well. Apologies, there's so much going on, but it is coming. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show, moving on from Peter's perspectives of $1 million by essentially the trading PDFs at the same time as the profit PDFs will come out. I think the profit PDFs are going to come out much more sooner. They should be out in 1 to 2 days, the profit PDFs, because I'm pretty much done on them. I just need to post them. The trading one, I'm creating the videos for it because I'm creating videos and a PDF documentation. So that'll be a few more days. But the profits ones, I should have it up and inside the Telegram by tomorrow at least. Now, China and UAE. China and UAE pledge joint crackdowns on cryptocurrency crimes. China and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, have pledged to enhance their cooperations in combating cybercrime associated with cryptocurrencies. The latest commitment was made through an official joint statement following the state visit of the UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan to China. The announcement comes as Hong Kong's data shows a spike in crypto fraud activity between 2022 and 2023. This joint statement highlighted specific areas of concerns, including telecommunications, networks, fraud, and online gambling when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Both nations aim to curb illegal activities that may exploit cryptocurrencies, showcasing a shared determination to tackle these issues. In addition to focusing on cybercrime, China and the UAE underscored their commitments to fighting money laundering as well, human trafficking, drug trafficking as well, and illegal immigration as well. This broader effort addresses illicit financial flows that could involve digital assets. Although the statements did not outline specific regulations targeting cryptocurrencies and indicated essentially a coordinated approach by both countries. To address the potential misuses of crypto technologies, beyond security concerns, the statement emphasized the importance of supporting the trade and investment partnerships as well between China and the UAE. Both nations committed to promoting trade, facilitating investments, and developing tourism through the Joint Economic and Trade Committee. A notable aspect of the joint statement was the recognition of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, in enhancing essentially cross-border trade and investments between China and the UAE, expressed their commitments to deepening their relationship in terms of cooperation on the Memorandum of Understanding on essentially strengthening central bank digital currency corporations, signed by their central banks. China praised the UAE for its pioneering efforts in completing their first direct cross-border CBDC transaction, the digital dirham, valued at 50 million dirhams, through the central bank digital currency bridge, mBridge platform, which is essentially built by the Bank of International Settlements. The milestone transaction has opened new opportunities for trade and investment between the two nations. As earlier reported by essentially Crypto News, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority is already working on 2 CBDC-related projects, mBridge and eHong Kong dollars. The central banks of Hong Kong, China, Thailand, and the UAE, along with Hong Kong, authorities are developing mBridge, a cross-border central bank digital currency initiative, also the Bank of International Settlements. This project is expected to be launched by mid-2024. Mid-2024, okay? Mid-2024, mBridge should be launched, which means these countries are going to be doing cross-border payments mid-2024. These countries are the UAE, China, Thailand, Hong Kong, and a few other Asian countries are going to start doing CBDC cross-border payments together mid-2024. This project is expected to be launched mid-2024 and could provide an alternative to SWIFT's dominant payment infrastructure, potentially leading to further payment fragmentations across other regions. Hong Kong is also working on another CBDC-related project known as e-Hong Kong. The digital currency has demonstrated various use cases, including payments deposits and investment scenarios. So, mid-2024, we're going to be seeing cross-border payments actually happening with CBDCs. And their aim is to move away from the SWIFT program, which is going to happen. Okay, they are going to be moving away from SWIFT, mainly because the Bank of International... SWIFT is also under the Bank of International Settlements, but so is mBridge. So, Bank of International Settlements, okay, just put a perspective. Bank of International Settlements, okay, SWIFT, mBridge, and also Ripple, because cross-border payments. Because they're on the PDF document. There's a public PDF document titled Cross-Border Payments on the Bank of International Settlements website. And on that list, it says SWIFT, and it also says Ripple. So, Bank of International Settlements, SWIFT, Ripple, mBridge, and 12 other blockchain projects that the Bank of International Settlements is working with. And then below that is the countries, the G20 countries, essentially, and the rest of the countries under the Bank of International Settlements. They're all connected to the Bank of the United States, all the BRICS countries, G20 countries, the EU, the US, the UK, Canada, Japan, Russia, Russian Federation, China. They're all under the Bank of International Settlements. So, Bank of International Settlements, SWIFT, Ripple, mBridge, and the rest of the blockchain projects. Below that, the G20 countries. Below that, the countries that are basically below the G20 countries. All under the Bank of International Settlements. Now, mid-2024, they're going to start doing transactions in CBDCs, which means they're moving away from SWIFT and going to blockchain, which take a guess of who's going to be in line. Just take a guess of who's going to be in that line. People say SWIFT is too big to fail. Do you know who's bigger than SWIFT? The Bank of International Settlements, because they control them. Here is how CBDCs are going to be redefining international payments. The landscape of global payments is undergoing a transformation, according to the latest reports from Ripple. Crypto and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are on track to sustainably revolutionize international money transfers. This digital transformation is already taking place in several key regions. Latin America, Africa, and Europe are showing a growing appetite for these innovative and efficient payment solutions. Latin America and Africa are fertile grounds for the rise of crypto. First of all, Latin America is positioning itself as a true hub of this ongoing revolution. Despite the reluctance of historical players, the region is experiencing a profound digital transformation driven by widespread adoption of crypto and national CBDC projects. This rapid transition to decentralized payment solutions increases financial accessibility for millions of people. The same phenomenon is essentially occurring on the African continents as well. In 2023, crypto-fueled money transfer payments exceeded $100 billion, reaching a new historic milestone. The rise of blockchain-based services drastically improves the affordability of international transfers for Africans as well. Europe accelerates its transition to digital CBDCs and seamless cross-borders as well. However, Europe remains the most advanced playground for the adoption of crypto and CBDCs in cross-border payments. With its technological edge and digital approach, the old continent is rapidly essentially adapting these new payment rails. Public and private initiatives and multiplying the facilitating essentially inter-country money transfers within the European Union and beyond. In this respect, the upcoming developments of central bank digital currencies could well speed up the space. These digital tokens offer the promises of instant, secure, and low-cost exchanges between sovereign currencies, a major advancement to streamline the countless commercial and financial transactions underpinning the European economy. In the face of this wave of crypto CBDC for international payments, businesses and institutions have no choice but to adapt. Just to put in perspective, what have I always said? I've always said that there's no choice. When it comes to CBDCs, there's no choice at all when it comes to CBDCs. Every country will be in CBDCs. Whether the people like it or not, there will be CBDC. It doesn't matter if the United States Congress, voters said no to the anti-CBDC bill. It's going to happen. Do you know why? Because the Bank of International Settlements wants it to happen. The International Monetary Fund wants it to happen. The World Economic Forum wants it to happen. It's all about control. How have people not realized that the world that we're living in is all about control? Are people just born yesterday? The entire world, everything we do is controlled. They give us the illusion of freedom of speech and freedom and so on and so on, but it's all illusions. So this ideology of people trying to go against CBDCs is going to happen whether they like it or not. So what you can choose is benefit from it, essentially go for the project that's the backbone, or just wait for your CBDC wallets. Because of what I've always said, there's no choice. It's going to happen either way. In the face of this wave, this is again from Ripple's essentially reports. In the face of this wave, essentially, of crypto and CBDC for international payments, businesses and institutions have no choice but to adapt. The status quo is essentially no longer a viable option in the world where liquidity now transits into a few clicks on a blockchain. Early adapters or followers, all players will sooner or later have to embrace these channels to remain competitive. So now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding FTX as well. FTX is getting very, very close to selling off all their assets, which is okay. Regarding Gemini is getting ready to refund people. That's going to cause some volatility inside the market space. It's going to be a negative situation, slightly bearish when Gemini sells. When the other one sells as well, MT-GOX, it's also going to be quite bearish. But depending on how quickly they enter the market space in terms of selling pressure and how quickly the buying pressure comes in, it might not last too long. However, FTX's downfall was bad for the crypto space. Depending on how you look at it again. If you shorted the market when FTX was going downhill, you made a good amount of money. Same thing with Luna. But now FTX re-entering the market, not as FTX 2.0, but to pay back everybody, is bullish because FTX is not going to be refunding all of their users using cryptocurrencies. If FTX refund the people using cryptocurrencies, then people will most likely sell the cryptocurrencies. However, FTX is going to refund people using fiat, which means, terms of digital dollars, let's say. Which means those people are going to be receiving a lump sum of money, which most likely will be re-entering the crypto space. So FTX's downfall did this to the market space, and FTX refunding everybody is going to do this to the market space. Because they're going to be refunding people in cash, not in cryptocurrencies. If they refund people in cryptocurrencies, then people will sell their crypto assets. Because it was a long time ago, they have profits, so they will sell. But they're going to get refunds in cash, in fiat, which means they will buy instead, which causes a bullish scene. Why I'm showing you this? Because FTX is right now recently just sold off another chunk of their assets. They're getting very close and ready to refunding everybody now. They're getting day by day, they're getting closer to refund everybody essentially, because they keep on auctioning off all their assets. And we'll go through what they recently auctioned off today as well. But before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. Okay, thanks, Miles. No problem, Jason. Anytime. Nautismcrypto.com, just checked. Thank you so much, Pisces, for that. Now, that's bullish news regarding the CBDCs mid-2024. Yes, definitely. Let's go, JP. Let's go, Shelly. It doesn't take an Einstein to work out that one out, Sherlock. Yep, pretty much. Smart. Okay, I will check my cold wallet if it holds it when I get home. Let's go. You took the funky brother regarding Notcoin. Gotcha. So FTX. FTX sells remaining of their shares of a particular startup company they invested into. So FTX estate has liquidated its remaining shares in a startup company they recently brought. Not recently, a while ago, they brought with their users' money. The artificial intelligence company, AI company known as Cloud Chatbot, the latest bankruptcy filings from the FTX estate show that it sold 15 million shares at $30 each, netting over $452 million. According to the court documents, the venture capital fund manager G Squared emerged as the top buyer. The firm acquired 4.5 million shares for about 135 million. Other notable buyers included Fund FG Blue BLU and more, that a dozen hedge funds and investment firms. This latest sale follows an early transaction from 2 months ago. FTX offloaded a substantial portion of its holdings, also at $30 per share, primarily to Abu Dhabi's based investors. That early transactions brought it around $900 million, bringing its total to proceeds from the sales approximately $1.3 billion. FTX is sitting at about $1.3 billion, getting ready to start refunding people. Among the major buyers in this initial sale was ATIC, Third International Investment Company, LLC, associated with the UAE's Sovereign Wealth Fund, which acquired nearly $500 million worth of FTX's shares. This sale, like the recent one, was revealed through filings of the US bankruptcy courts of District of Delaware. Optimism for FTX creditor repayments. FTX officials are optimistic about the prospects of repaying creditors, given that the state's cash reserves were previously reported to be around, in total, FTX has about $6.4 billion ready to refund. The shares that were recently sold was among the most valuable assets in FTX's portfolio. Originally, now the bankrupt crypto exchange Alameda invested $500 million into an 8% stake on this startup company. Now, putting that to one side, since then, the rapid growth of AI sector has driven up the value of this particular company they brought into a while ago, resulting in over $800 million in profits for the bankrupt exchange. The values of this particular company that they invested into a while ago, when it was received fundings from Google in late 2022. According to reports, Google invested about $300 million inside of this AI startup company, which is doing ridiculously well right now, positioning itself to take on Microsoft and OpenAI in a competitive artificial intelligence space. If you were looking for your next IPO project to go into, maybe look into the company that essentially FTX just sold off now. The sale of these shares became possible after the US bankruptcy courts on February 2020 essentially approved FTX's motions to divest, to get rid of their assets and so on, to be able to pay everybody back. Now, in conclusion, without going through the rest of it, in conclusion, essentially, is that FTX has $6.4 billion ready, sitting on the sidelines to refund people. And when they do refund people, it's going to be in fiat, which means those people are going to go and start buying cryptocurrencies. Because if they refund on cryptocurrencies, they will go and sell those cryptocurrencies, but they get a refund in fiat, which is going to cause a buying pressure, essentially. Now, here is something that most people didn't know. The US Navy has launched their own blockchain project. Now, there is one blockchain project that also has military contracts. DAG, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I don't know if they have used DAG in this particular military contract, but the US Navy has launched a full-on blockchain project now, which is Free Fabric. Good to see you. So how you doing? Oh, let me go through the comment section, and then we'll go through the US Navy news regarding their own blockchain project and who's involved. So let me just go through the comment section first. By the way, if you have any comments, put inside the comment section as well. I'm reading everybody's comments one by one, as I always do. Here we go. Sorry, Miles. I think you're reading the comments that were happening between each other and a couple of people. Yep, I was. Tangent doesn't hold not only Ton. Yeah, Tangent doesn't hold it, no. Trust doesn't hold Ton either, no. Ton Wallet. So Ton Chain has their own wallet. We've been talking about Ton for a while now. I just wanted to check. Let me see. I still haven't brought into it either, to be fair. Waiting for a drop to happen. I think a drop is going to be happening soon, maybe. You know, when I talked about Toncoin, its market cap was in the millions. Now it's at 1.9 billion. Yeah. Now, okay, here we go. U.S. Navy. The U.S. Navy has launched Paranoid. Yeah. Blockchain security tech to provide the sector. The United States Navy is seeking a private sector partners for a cooperative research and development agreement, CARDA, to help advance its Paranoid blockchain technology. And Paranoid essentially stands for Powerful Authentication Regime Applicant to Naval Operations Flight Program Integrated Development. That's one hell of a name. Is a blockchain-based system for securing software against cyber attacks during development and deployment for the US Navy for blockchain. The Naval Air Warfare Center's Aircraft Division, NAWCAD, in New Jersey, invented and developed Paranoid to secure software for US Navy, but soon thereafter realized its software development endeavors wherein security is a factor. Paranoid protects software throughout its development process by verifying file across nodes at every step through blockchain. Every action a developer takes is registered as an entry on the Paranoid blockchain, thus providing a ledger of activity. If bad actors were to try and hijack or hack software during development by editing, replacing, or deleting code or files such as changes would fail verification against the Paranoid system database on blockchain. According to a blog post from the TechLink, the US Department of Defense's technology transfer partner, the US Navy is making the Paranoid system available to private sector parties who wish to help research and develop it further. Now, there are a few blockchain projects that could help out Paranoid and the US Navy, essentially regarding their own blockchain project. Now, DAG does have some military contracts. A while ago, they had those contracts. Who knows? Maybe they get involved, maybe they don't. Per Nieder, the senior technology manager at TechLink, said an ideal CARDA partner would be a company interested in developing a solution for securing software supply chain. This would include companies in the realm of software developments who would be willing to install and test Paranoid for feedback and scalability. For it appears to be the first blockchain innovation we've seen commercialized by the US Navy. It's not the US military first and foray into the technology itself. Both the US Air Force and the US Navy in the past essentially had agreements with Chain, a Notre Dame data exchange that uses blockchain technology to secure supply lanes. So apparently, apparently, the U.S. Navy is opening their doors to any blockchain firms that want to jump on board. Essentially, if they want to jump on board with the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Air Force and be working alongside their blockchain project as they progress and expand on it. Now, if there are, which there is, this DAG that does military contracts and a few other ones inside the blockchain sector. So if those companies, those particular crypto projects are smart enough, they would jump on this opportunity of working with the US Air Force and the US Navy because they've just opened their doors to blockchain projects. The US Navy and the US Air Force have opened their doors to blockchain projects. Obviously, they're not going to accept everyone that walks in through the door. They're going to be doing tests back and forward before they do sign a contract. But, if their technology is good enough, they should be smart to jump on this opportunity. It's a big contract. Military contracts equals to millions or billions of dollars, just to put in perspective. Okay, military contracts are $1 million contracts to $1 billion contract. So that's big money for any of these blockchain projects thinking about, this opportunity right now, which nobody's talking about inside the crypto space. I haven't heard a single person inside the crypto space talk about how the US Navy and the US Air Force have now opened their doors to blockchain projects, essentially to work alongside them of their own project. Blockstream. If anybody's seen the film War Dogs as well, that should give you some indications. Blockstream CEO. Now this news, when I read it, I couldn't believe what Coinbase did essentially. So Blockstream, before I read the news, I'll go inside the comment section as well, but I'll give you the title and the gist. Blockstream CEO has slammed Coinbase, apparently. So essentially, Donald Trump, as we know, Donald Trump is accepting cryptocurrency donations. It's been a few days now. He's accepting cryptocurrency donations. He's accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin, and a few other ones. Now, apparently, these donations are supposed to go through Coinbase and then to Donald Trump. However, it seems like Coinbase is stifling some of those transactions, especially Bitcoin, particularly Bitcoin actually only. Apparently, Coinbase is not processing the Bitcoin donations for Donald Trump. And another CEO of another company has came out and essentially addressed this issue and said, we can't believe that Coinbase would do something like this and stifle Donald Trump and not process his Bitcoin transactions. Because how do we know this? Because this other company, essentially, Blockstream, the Blockstream CEO essentially came out and said, because Donald Trump came to us and now we're processing his Bitcoin donations through Lightning, the Lightning network, the Bitcoin Lightning network is how they're processing Donald Trump's Bitcoin donations now. They're no longer processing it through Coinbase because apparently Coinbase is being biased and they're not processing his Bitcoin donations. So that's why Donald Trump's team, essentially, and Donald Trump went to Blockstream, the CEO, and now they're processing his Bitcoin donations through the Lightning network instead of Coinbase. It's nice to see, well, actually not nice to see in any sort of way, but I was being sarcastic. I am, British in a sense. But Coinbase being biased. I mean, Coinbase, they are being controlled by some big players now. Times have changed for Coinbase. They're no longer just a 5-man team. They have huge partnerships and, let's say, sponsorships in a sense that they have to please. And it looks like they're pleasing their partners and not processing donations for Donald Trump. So that's not good image for Coinbase to be doing that. Now, if you hate Donald Trump or if you like Donald Trump, it doesn't matter. The idea of you stifling donations makes you look pathetic, in a sense. And it also makes you look like Swift. The reason why countries don't like Swift is not because Swift is slow and expensive. They've been using it for years. The reason why, one of the main reasons they don't like Swift is because Swift is a political tool. It goes around and, sanctions countries. So it's pathetic what Coinbase is doing. I've always said this. Swift, it's a political tool. It's not a payment tool or money messaging, essentially software. It's technically a political tool. It goes around and, sanctions countries. That's what's wrong with Swift, which is basically what Coinbase just did. Not processing their transactions. And apparently, according to Coinbase, it's because they're having network issues. Apparently, only for Bitcoin and only for his donations. Nobody else is having any issues with Bitcoin on Coinbase, but only Donald Trump's donations are having difficulty going through. How a coincidence is that? So random. Just his transactions can't be processed. There's a network failure. But a random person can buy Bitcoin, no network issues whatsoever on Coinbase. But when it comes to his donations, there's network failure apparently. I'd rather be paranoid than Sleepy Joe. Yeah. They are paranoid, all right. What's with the name, lol? Yeah, I mean, the name is interesting one, regarding what they've chosen. Hi, Miles and CMF. I can finally comment. Let's go, Pablo. How you doing? I'd rather be paranoid and awake than Sleepy Joe, yeah. Coinbase are the biggest thieves. I mean, Coinbase could be charged with impending election. Well, Coinbase is playing it as, we're having technical issues, but only for his particular donations. So, this is the news. Blockstream's CEO. That's the only reason we know, because of Blockstream's CEO who's came out. So, Blockstream CEO Adam Back has slammed Coinbase, and here is why. Blockstream CEO Adam Back has called out Coinbase Exchange as a Bitcoin-hating trading platform over its perceived refusal to process BTC donations to Donald Trump's campaign organization. The Lightning Network makes history. The whole conversation started when Bitcoin Magazine unveiled that the Lightning Network has made history as the first to process BTC payments for former US President Donald Trump. This milestone is considered another major avenue to showcasing the growing adoption of key industry innovations by top politicians in the US. Because they're no longer processing them through Coinbase, because Coinbase, for some odd reason, even refused it. So now they're processing these Bitcoin donations through, essentially, the Lightning Network instead of going through Coinbase. As the biggest crypto trading platform in the country, and it's very odd because who is Coinbase defending? What, Sleepy Joe or Sleazy Joe? How's that any sort of benefits to them? Or is Coinbase just one big show? As the biggest crypto trading platform in the country, many expected Coinbase would play a major role in helping to receive the payments. Weighing in on the conversation, the Blockstream CEO said on Open Note, a Bitcoin infrastructure startup for business payments process is schooling Coinbase since the American trading behemoth cannot accept BTC donations for it. An ex-user made an attempt to defend Coinbase, noting that accepting BTC payments is a complicated issue for the exchange owing to its regulatory scrutiny. It is worth noting that despite the Coinbase's industry positioning as a publicly traded firm, it still has multiple legal battles with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Apparently, Coinbase is saying, oh yeah, we can't process, or one person from X is defending Coinbase's actions. And because Coinbase's excuse now is going to become, oh, we're being investigated by the SEC, so we can't do political donations, apparently. While this might have been a fair gateway for Coinbase, Adam Back chose to view things differently. He noted that the main reason behind Coinbase's woes is because the outfit prioritizes the listings of Coinbase. There's a word here I can't say, and it starts with S. I can spell it SHIT. No, it's really not complicated. It's international. They hate Bitcoin and want to promote S-coins. There are some flimsy excuses given by another Coinbase person a few months ago, which wouldn't apply to donations but payments, and was also bull BS, Back said in the following posts. Now, the criticism and claims from the Blockstream CEO is coming despite the multiple listings from the trading platform, with it claims to adhere to its strictest listing standards. From earlier CoinGape reports, the firm added full trading support for Shiba, Floki, and Bonk in the past week, solidifying its meme coin support claims from Back. Besides this, Coinbase is known for the network of congestions. One halts some of its operations on occasions. Many industries have voiced and slammed the trading platform for refusing to invest in the right infrastructure that can handle its growing user base, which is true. Coinbase has always had multiple issues on their platform. Yes, Coinbase has had bugs and so on. For some oddly reason, I don't know what servers they're using, if their servers are from the 1980s, because, at the same time when we had that blackout type of situation for all these crypto exchanges, Binance was still fully operational. However, Coinbase, nobody could access their apps, and Crypto.com had the same issue. Do you know why? Because Binance actually invests into infrastructure. Now, another reason could be that Coinbase also, sometimes pulls the plug on purpose. But the most messed up reason is, why is Coinbase not processing crypto donations, especially Bitcoin donations, for Donald Trump? This refusal that they have to not process Bitcoin donations for Donald Trump. Coinbase won't do it. And they haven't done it. Because they're processing their donations through the Lightning Network instead. Donald Trump's team and him are processing the Bitcoin donations through the Lightning Network with the Blockstream CEO. And the Blockstream CEO came out publicly and said it's because Coinbase is actually refusing to process those Bitcoin donations for Donald Trump. Coinbase. Coinbase is being a political tool. And just picture it where Coinbase is now, okay? Coinbase might look like a large company inside the crypto sector, but they're still minuscule compared to the other institutions. And they're already playing the political tool card. Imagine when Coinbase becomes an actual large crypto exchange, how much of a bigger tool they'll be then. Oklahoma is the next news to go through. Oklahoma Senate passes major crypto tax exemption bill. What a legend. But before we go through that news, let's go inside the comment section. But yeah, I mean, what an absolute tool Coinbase is. And I said this before as well. Look, if you like Donald Trump, if you don't like Donald Trump, it doesn't matter. You're a publicly traded exchange. Picking sides is pathetic. Doesn't matter who's on the other side. You're picking sides. And it's pathetic. They are paranoid. Right? Well, yeah, they are definitely. Coinbase could be, yeah. Coinbase is the biggest thieves, by the looks of it. I'm not surprised to hear the news. It was only a matter of time for Coinbase. They are into the politics too deep. Yeah, definitely. Coinbase is definitely too deep into the politics now. That's a double-sided sword. They just set them up. They just set up for fun for all the politicians. All BS. Yep, pretty much. Miles, we know you cannot say a few words, but call it poo-poo coins. Poo-poo coins. Can Notcoin go to $1? Possibility. Not in a short period of time. If it does, it'd be an absolute miracle. Coinbase will see you next Tuesday. Coinbase will see you next Tuesday. You know, it's absolutely, honestly, when I read that news, I thought this can't be true. But then when I saw the Blockstream CEO actually coming out on a public thing, you know, and saying the reason why Donald Trump is going through my company and using Lightning Network and not sticking with Coinbase is because Coinbase won't process their transactions. That's honestly zero respect for Coinbase for doing that, for being a massive political tool. Oklahoma Senate passes major crypto tax exemption bill. Absolute legend. The Oklahoma government is poised to sign a House bill. They're calling it the 1600 bill. This bill will provide tax exemptions for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency mining operations. Oklahoma aims to foster a favorable environment for digital assets and blockchain technology, which could boost economic growth and attract crypto businesses, which it definitely will. Exempt from taxes on cryptocurrencies, it definitely will. House bill recently passed the Oklahoma Senate with a 29 to 15 vote, and the House with 68 to 20 votes. The governor, Kevin, is reportedly enthusiastic about signing it into law. The bill passage is seen as a bullish move for crypto adoption in the state. The governor, impending approval, follows the recent enactments of the Bitcoin bill of the rights of underscoring Oklahoma's commitment to becoming a crypto-friendly state. This legislative trend highlights the increasing political support for cryptocurrencies in the US. Despite regulatory challenges, many US politicians are advocating for a clearer crypto regulation. Former President Donald Trump and independent presidential candidate Robert Francis Kennedy Jr. have both expressed their support for crypto adoption, with promises to establish a more decentralized financial system if elected. Isn't that funny as well? How, you know, Donald Trump essentially pro-crypto, Coinbase pro-crypto, Coinbase against the SEC and against Joe Biden, but won't process Donald Trump's donation money. Do you know when something just doesn't add up? Because Coinbase goes about and says, we are pro-crypto. If you're pro-crypto, process donations. Why stifle them? These developments reflect a growing recognition of importance of digital assets in the US, signaling potential shifts in the regulatory landscape. The outcome of these legislative efforts in Oklahoma could serve as a model for other states considering similar measures. The next news to go through on tonight's live show is regarding Qatar and how Qatar is launching their CBDC project using DLT and AI technology. But yeah, Oklahoma, tax-free cryptocurrencies, amazing news. If you're thinking about setting up your blockchain company anywhere inside the United States and you live inside the United States, maybe look at Oklahoma because the tax exemption seems ideal. Very ideal. Or maybe even live there for tax reasons. Now, if you live inside the United States, or set up a business, LLC, good to go. There's always loopholes. Remember this, in every law, there's always a loophole. Obviously, the loophole is not there for you to know. It's there for the politicians and their friends to know. But if you find out about the loophole as well, you can benefit. Why not? In every law, there's always a loophole. Coinbase, we'll see. Are we currently in the bull market? Quite a few YouTubers think we are. Some say 2025. Mo Ali, I posted on Twitter 2 months ago, roughly. A month ago, actually. A month ago, I posted on Twitter, or 2 months ago. The tweet is there. But I said that we are in the progress of a second bull run. I said we are in the progress of a second. We're technically in one. We are also in the process of a second bull run, a utility run, essentially. Based on, and I said there's going to be more ETFs. We have Ethereum ETF now. I said there's going to be more ETFs, more institutions coming in, more regulations coming in, more banks coming in, more partnerships, more developments, and all this is based on utility. I said all of this before the Ethereum ETF was ever announced. But yeah, we're technically in one. It's just a very manipulated one, with 937 corporations inside of the BTC ETF so far. But yeah, I said this before everybody else. My tweet is there. I mean, I come up with receipts. So the tweet is there on X as well. But yeah, we are in one. It's just a manipulated version. But the second one is going to be absolutely beautiful. It's in progress. Can Coinbase get in trouble for violating finance laws? No, because Coinbase can say they're having technical issues. There's always a way around it. What's up, brother Miles and CMF? Little late on the XRP news. Bilal, good to see you. How you doing? We went through a little bit of XRP news at the beginning of the live show. Good to see you, Bilal. How you doing? I'll go towards at the end again. I brought some Bitcoin recently, only a small amount, and a block share on transaction history. At the exact same time, I had 3 BTCs received at the exact same time, and sent at the exact same time. That's a bit odd. 53-year-olds surpassed Libertarian Party will abolish SEC, Federal Reserve, IRS, and U.S. foreign wars. Argentina elected first Libertarian president. Yes, they did. Let's go, Leroy. How you doing, brother? How you been? And thanks so much for the news. Always joining in with the news and the updates. He did, yes. And also, Simon, that's a bit of an odd situation. Add many other outputs, inputs. Is that happening in your wallet? Second bull run will start after the end case, pretty much. Q3 of this year. Very busy last days, brother, but good like always. How are you? I'm doing great, Bilal. Let's go. So, Qatar. Qatar is launching its CBDC project using DLT and AI technology. It's an interesting one because typically, for example, Brazil is launching their CBDC and it's called Drex. They're not really using AI, it's just blockchain. Russian Ruble, also just blockchain, but Qatar is taking a different path using AI technology with CBDCs. So, Qatar Central Bank, QCB, has completed the infrastructure for its central bank digital currency, CBDC project, an important milestone towards building the country's digital economy. The bank will now proceed to develop custom applications and test the CBDC for large payment settlements with local and international banks. The QCB considers this achievement to be in alignment with the country's third financial sector strategy, the FinTech strategy, and Quarter National Vision 2030. The development of the CBDC is yet another move towards enhancing liquidity in Qatari economy and expanding the country's participation in the financial markets. Qatar to test CBDC for large settlements. By 2030, they've successfully in it, so they're going to start releasing it. They're going to do the testing and then start releasing it. By 2030, Qatar's pretty much all in CBDCs. Qatar to test CBDCs for large settlements. After the successful completion of their comprehensive studies on the projects, the QCB will proceed with testings and developings, selecting applications for the CBDC to settle large payments with a group of local and international banks in the trial environment designed according to the latest advancement technologies. In a release posted on X, the Qatari central bank stated that the project will focus on the applications of the CBDC to increase access to capital markets for operating banks in the country, enhance domestic settlements, and improve the efficiency of security transactions. Qatar will commence the experimental phase of the CBDC project in October of this year. It will leverage technologies such as AI distributed technologies, DLT, and other emerging tech. The results of this experiment will be the cornerstone towards identifying the different use cases that the QCB will adapt in the future, which will contribute to enhancing the efficiency of the current system and instant settlements. Qatar Central Bank, QCB will adapt more use cases in the future. The Qatar Central Bank noted that it is identifying other use cases that will be adapted in the future to enhance its efficiency of current systems and instant settlements, a statement that reaffirms the bank's commitment to revealing essentially out valuable initiatives poised to fostering an environment for economic growth and the adoption of emerging technologies. With the experimental stage of CBDC projects set to commence soon, Qatar becomes the second Arabic nation behind the UAE to reach experimentation stage of its CBDC program. In a historic transaction in late January 2024, the UAE sent a digital dirhams worth $13.6 million to China, leveraging on mBridge cross-border transfer network that currently connects to the apex of Bank of Thailand, China, Hong Kong, and the UAE. Yeah, the Middle East and Asian markets are definitely getting ready for mid-2024. CBDC cross-border transactions are going to be happening mid-2024. Is what they're aiming for. Thailand, Hong Kong, China, the UAE, Qatar, and a few other countries through the Bank of International Settlements, which is quite a big news. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is this one. Tether. Tether's co-founder has came out and said that China might be getting ready to re-enter in the crypto space. According to Tether's co-founder, China might be getting ready somewhere down the line to enter the crypto sector. Cryptocurrency investor and Tether co-founder Brooke Pierce has hinted at a potential return to Hong Kong as well, a decade after launching a stablecoin there. Yes, apparently also Tether's co-founder has came out and said they're thinking about maybe putting their headquarters in Hong Kong. So the number one stablecoin, which is Tether, USDT, which is also ironically US dollars, is going to be headquartered in Hong Kong. Do you see how much of a moronic move that is for Tether? Very moronic move. You are the number one stablecoin that is US dollars, and your headquarters is going to be in Hong Kong. The US Treasury already is not really a big fan of Tether. Neither is the United States. And Tether thought to themselves, it's a smart idea to put the number one stablecoin headquarter in Hong Kong as a US dollar, an American US dollar. Yeah, that's going to go very well with the United States. It's definitely going to put Tether on their good books. The cryptocurrency investor and Tether co-founder Brooke Pierce has hinted at a potential return to Hong Kong. This comes at a time when the Hong Kong government is taking steps to attract the crypto industry back into its territory. Pierce, who also serves as a president of the Bitcoin Foundation, reaffirmed from providing information about the details of his new initiative or whether Hong Kong would be his permanent headquarters. He expressed his excitement for the city and noted that this is a part of the ongoing conversation. Big things can come from this, he said. He told the South China Morning Post. Well, that's going to go so well with the United States. This is what he also said. I'll go where I think my time is most valuable. I will go where my time is most valuable. You know, the last person that thought he had kahunas inside the crypto space was CZ. Now, in retrospect, big fan of CZ, have an incredible amount of respect for CZ. Okay, I have an incredible, because in the earlier days of the crypto space, if you were in the early days of crypto space, he did a lot of things for the crypto space. CZ, he did a lot of things for the crypto space, amazing things. And I have a blockchain startup company, so he helped on a large scale as well. Now, but the last person that had kahunas inside the crypto space was CZ, where, you know, the EU was telling all these crypto platforms to delist, for example, to delist privacy coins. The EU said, we don't like privacy coins, delist privacy coins. And every exchange said, no problem. CZ said, I'll think about it. And he came back and said, nope, we want to give our users freedom of choice. Yeah, that didn't really work out for him too well. You see, for some oddly reason, people think you only need money. It's not just about money, it's about who you know in politics, essentially. So the last person who thought they had kahunas and they could just do whatever they want, and because they feel like they have a lot of money and they're sitting on top of everybody else, you know, they can just say and do whatever they want. So if Tether's founder essentially saying, I'll go where I think my time is most valuable, is a hint. It's basically a dig at the US. I'm enthusiastic about what's going to go on in Hong Kong, which means I'm enthusiastic about working here, which means there is a good chance something will happen right now. This comment follows recent developments in which several major cryptocurrency exchanges, most of which are affiliated with the mainland China, have withdrawn their applications to become licensed virtual asset trading platforms in Hong Kong. This was due to new regulations introduced last year by the Securities and Futures Commission, which stated that Hong Kong licensed exchanges should not provide services to the mainland residents. Although commercial crypto activities are strictly prohibited in mainland China, the prospects of Hong Kong serving as a gateway to this massive market has appealed to many of its industries. Yes, cryptocurrencies might be banned essentially in China, but the wealthy and the bankers can have access to cryptocurrencies through Hong Kong. The same way London has the City of London, which is technically a separate province, or how the US has Washington as DC basically, or Vatican, similar lines. Although commercial crypto activities are strictly prohibited in mainland China, the prospects of Hong Kong serving as a gateway to this massive market has appealed to many in the industry. The idea was a hot topic in this year's Bitcoin Asia conference, although mainland regulators have showed no signs of essentially reversing their stance, but Pierce is confident that change is on the horizon for China. This is what he said, word for word. Will China open to crypto? I would say it's possible. The question is not if it will happen, but when it will happen. Regarding China entering the crypto space again. The Chinese markets, big market by the way, humongous markets. But China essentially also, by the way, just put in retrospect, regarding USDT and Tether. Tether already raises a lot of questions regarding their random printings. You know, their recent 1 billion token printing, and Tether's CEO said we're printing it for a rainy day. They could just print it on the rainy day. But they do random printings, they have random fundings, and they are not transparent. And Hong Kong's not really the best playground for them. You see, Hong Kong was a good playground when the Queen of England was alive. Because Hong Kong was under the authority of the Queen of England when she was alive. She's not alive anymore, and then, you know, essentially China has that control. Because Hong Kong citizens protested not to go under China when the Queen was alive. And obviously the UK would step in. So China decided to not go for Hong Kong because the Queen was still alive. Because the Queen was the only person that had the power in the entire world to pretty much start a war. No questions asked. No country can start a war, no questions asked, technically. The Queen was the only person that had this power, and she never used it. So obviously China backed off then. But now the Queen has passed away for a very long time, and Hong Kong is pretty much, you know, China's controlling Hong Kong pretty much. And it's China's playground. Hong Kong might seem as, you know, its own separate country, some separate province and so on, but technically it's China's playground. So in the past, sure, Hong Kong, good place, for in terms of outside of China, so outside of China's control. Now, not so much. It's China's playground. The same way the UK's playground is City of London. It's technically its own province, its own governors, its own police force. It's basically a separate country in the middle of London. The same goes with DC or Vatican, and the list goes on. They're all loopholes. Now, also, the next news to go through is tokenization. Tokenization empowers investors and disrupts Wall Street, is the next news to go through. Tokenization disrupting Wall Street. But before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section. And by the way, if you have any comments, I read everybody's comments one by one. Put it down inside the comment section. Let's see where I was. I was here. Yes, transaction history, bizarre. That's very bizarre, Simon. Very bizarre. Are there any Ripple partners? Regarding Qatar, yeah, Bank of International Settlements. Miles, I really love your sarcasm. Regarding USDT going to Hong Kong, it will go really well by the US. Yeah, I think China will enter the crypto space when they get full control of CBDCs in their country. Yeah, I think so too. We're on the same page. When China has full control in terms, because the timing of when, so what JP is referring to essentially is also China was pro Bitcoin. The biggest Bitcoin mining institutions at one time was in China, which they all moved over to the United States. But at that time, when China was big on cryptocurrencies and big on Bitcoin, and then they shut it down out of nowhere, it's because they launched CBDCs a little bit after. So they stopped people from being able to purchase cryptocurrencies and then launched CBDCs. And all the big Bitcoin companies went over to the United States. Now, 5 of the biggest Bitcoin mining institutions are inside the United States. But, yeah, that's also ways referring to. So, in other words, when China gets to full, adoption rate in terms of CBDCs, they could open their doors because at that point, everybody's in CBDC, so it don't matter. Yeah, I agree. We're on the same page, JP. Tokenization. So next news to go through. Tokenization empowers investors and disrupts Wall Street. A detailed market study conducted by one of the big 4 accounting firms, Ernst & Young, which is E&Y, pointed towards, basically last year they did a study test and essentially updating their study test going forward. So they pointed towards a significant increase in allocation to digital assets and interest in tokenizations. The report revealed that institutional investors were becoming increasingly confident of the long-term value of blockchain and digital assets. According to E&A survey, 57% of institutional investors expressed interest in investing in tokenized assets. 57%. That was from last year. So this year is much more bigger increase, but that was last year. That's a humongous increase right there. But they don't tell you these things, that 57% of institutions are quite big into blockchain. They want to enter it. Express interest in also investing in tokenized assets, with 93% of respondents believing in the long-term value of blockchain or digital technology and digital assets. 93% of the corporate sector. Interestingly, not only were they keen to tokenize assets, but most had a clear strategy on how to proceed. For instance, 71% of the institution asset managers surveyed intended to tokenize their assets via partnerships with digital natives or tokenization firms. Meanwhile, 21% plan to build infrastructure internally, and 5% look forward to acquiring a tokenization startup. What benefits do these seasoned fund managers see that compel them to plan so forwardly towards tokenizations? The empowering potential of tokenization. In one of their explainers, McKinsey and Company defines tokenization as a process of issuing a digital, unique, and anonymous representation of a real thing. On a practical level, tokenization requires blockchain on which the process has to be carried out. Institutional investors show a marked preference for public permission blockchains for the tokenization of their assets, followed by private chains 40% and public chains 22%. One of the most enticing aspects of tokenizations is its inexclusivity, allowing for a wide area of crypto assets to be tokenized. These include real estate, art, bonds and equities, intellectual properties, and even identity and data. There are an apple of examples of real-world assets getting tokenized and becoming available to the expanded base of new customers and investors. Consider gold, for instance, which has essentially been one of the most trustworthy assets throughout human history. It has also at one point legal tender. Last year, the combined market capitalization of the gold asset, blockchain, Paxo. So Paxo was the company that essentially built BUSD, Binance's stablecoin. But then when the case went through, Binance said BUSD isn't owned by us and so on. There was a loophole in the contracts. But Paxos is the same company that built BUSD, and they also built two other stablecoins, one as a tokenized gold and another one. So Paxos is behind this, in other words. So last year, the combined market capitalization of tokenized gold assets surpassed $1 billion. As this trend accelerates, the tokenization of real-world assets in transforming several other asset classes, according to the Boston Consulting Group, the total size of tokenizing assets, including the ones considered less liquid, like real estate and natural resources, could cross, this is coming from the Boston Consulting Group, could cross $16 trillion by 2030. $16 trillion by 2030. So essentially, this entire study test that was done by a massive accounting firm and a few other firms that was mentioned regarding their data study test of, our corporate sector interested in cryptocurrencies, particularly are they interested in tokenizations. About 57% of institutions are very interested in tokenization, and about 93% of the respondents believing in the long-term value of blockchain and digital technology. That in itself is extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. 93% of the respondents from the study test believe in blockchain's long-term valuation, and 57% of the institutions of the investors have expressed interest in investing in projects that relate to tokenization. Massive, because all blockchain projects. Massive. So extremely bullish, because the corporate sector has money, which is the money we need inside the crypto sector. We need traditional finance essentially coming hand to hand with the digital side, because we need their money. The reason why Bitcoin did new heights and everybody was happy, Bitcoin's all-time new high, BTC ETFs. Was it because the retail section? No. Retail section, broke. Corporate section, wealthy. That should be common sense at this point. Also, 937 corporations were the reason why BTC went after the BTC ETFs. Well, before it went down because of grayscale, but then went back up. But it was because of 937 corporations. Where is the data proof? SEC, 13 filings. They're called 13F filings. It shows which company, which corporation inside the United States brought BTC ETFs. For tax purposes, they had to file it in. So they're called 13F filings. You can go and check them out. 937 corporations all brought BTC ETFs. That is the reason BTC reached all-time new highs with BTC ETFs, not because the retail section invested into BTCs. They are a massive company. Yes, they are. This account from massive company. So in the data site that just came out, they are Ernst & Young are a massive company. The Boston Group as well, massive as well. So them doing the study test, it gives credibility to them as well, because not a random company doing it out of nowhere. So massive, extremely bullish. And we have reached. I'm just going to start a conversation first. And they are Rubonas. Yeah. Miles. Okay, we were here. And they are a massive company. Yes, they are. And we have reached the endings of tonight's live show as well. It's about 1:19 a.m. right now. Yeah. So, if you... Apologies. If you enjoyed this live show and you're watching it for the first time ever, you can tune into this live show every single night. You can tune into this live show every single night on X if you're watching this on X, or if you're watching this on YouTube. This is episode 74. Every night I do one episode. This is episode 74. And we went through some amazing bullish news today as well. And one manipulated news from Coinbase. But we went through quite a lot of bullish news on today as well. Some data status. So if you enjoy this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. On X, if you're watching us on X. On YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube. Also, if you're watching YouTube, drop a like if you want to. It helps to spread this live show. And if you're watching us on X, retweet if you want, like if you want, and even put a comment down on YouTube and X. It does help to push the video even more. Even if your comment is a thumbs up, for example, it helps to push the video more. So if you enjoyed this live show, drop a like. And the gist of what we talked about on tonight's live show is, just in case anybody did tune in late, I always do a gist at the end of anybody that tuned in late for the live shows. We talked about tokenization in terms of Wall Street and some study tests that we went through Ernst & Young company. We also talked about Tether's co-founder moving their headquarters possibly to essentially Hong Kong. And China maybe re-entering the crypto space. We talked about Qatar launching a CBDC project very soon. They're doing testings on cross-border payments right now. We talked about Oklahoma State exemption for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin mining as well. So great place to live if you live inside the United States. Maybe set up an LLC there. We also talked about Blockstream CEO slamming Coinbase for not processing Donald Trump's donations. Coinbase, for some reason, didn't want to process Donald Trump's Bitcoin donations, and therefore Donald Trump's campaign had to go to another company called Blockstream to process their Bitcoin donations through them, which is the Lightning Network. But yeah, Coinbase is being a political tool. We also talked about the US Navy, how they're launching their own blockchain project and they're opening their doors to other blockchain companies out there to come and work with the US Navy and the US Air Force, which is great news as well. If you are inside the blockchain sector or any other companies out there, for example, DAG, they should maybe look into that. We also talked about the hacker situation that happened as well. We talked about how mid-2024 is where mBridge is going to be activated, essentially. Thailand, Hong Kong, China, the UAE, and a few other countries are going to be processing transactions mid-2024 for cross-border payments in CBDCs through mBridge, Bank of International Settlements, and moving away from SWIFT. And we talked about FTX getting very, very ready to refund people, which is a bullish scenario because FTX is not refunding people in cryptocurrencies, but refunding them in cash, which means those people will have money to buy new cryptocurrencies instead of getting refunds in crypto, which they will sell, which will be bearish. But instead, FTX refunds will be bullish. We also talked about how essentially the CBDC world is redefining pretty much everything, according to a Ripple report as well. And 2024 made processing in terms of transactions. And we talked about the veteran Peter trader who essentially said that fiat is doomed, which it always has been, but still operates. Now, if you enjoyed today's live show, drop a follow, drop a like. We went through some extremely bullish news, one manipulated news from CB side essentially. But if you enjoyed today's live show, drop a like and tune into it every single night. Good night, Miles, and thank you for all the bullish news tonight. See you tomorrow night, Miles, and all CMF. Let's go, JP. See you tomorrow, but at the same time as usual. Thanks, Miles. Much appreciated. Have a good day and night. To the CMF, let's go, Shelly. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Good night, Miles. Take care and see you tomorrow. Mike, see you tomorrow, but at the same time as usual as well. Free and forever. Good night, Miles, and all CMF. Free and forever. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Thank you so much, and good night, Lena. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual. Miles, did you not know Coinbase was going through a difficult time with their server as low? Yeah, Coinbase was going through a difficult time with this. That's the reason why Coinbase couldn't process the donations for Donald Trump, because Coinbase is going through some difficult times on processing donations because they're having server issues. That's the only reason. I mean, no hate against Coinbase in any sort of a way at all. Coinbase is having difficulties with their servers, apparently. So, if you enjoyed today's live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. It's called the CMF Live Show. I talk about recent news that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, AI, CBDCs, regulations, things that will benefit you being inside the crypto space. And I always come out with the data and facts because that's all that matters. Now, if Donald Trump wins and mentions Coinbase bad drawings, it will be very bad for their stocks. Yes, it will be. Yes, no, it will be. Bad thing. Yes, it will be a bad thing. Very true. Very true. But BlackRock won't let it happen. Thanks, Miles. Great live as usual. Let's go, Jason. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well, brother. And we also have a Telegram group as well for this live show. This live show has a Telegram group called CoinMove. CoinMove is my startup company. This live show also has a Telegram group called the CMF, which stands for Crypto Mouse Family, which is free, by the way. I believe in free source, so I believe education should always remain free. So no charge whatsoever on anything I provide. Everything's free of charge. So join the Telegram group as well. The link is on my X or my YouTube if you're watching this on either. Do you get a sore eye looking into the light? Do I get a sore eye looking into the light? Yes. Sometimes the ring light gives me a headache, I'll be honest. I take paracetamol sometimes because of the ring light. Wait, actually, you are the light. You are the light. Thank you, Shelly. So I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. CMF, I will see you all tomorrow, same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. Good night, Miles. I'll see you. Jason, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. I think the light just bounces off me. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Night, Miles. All the best. Stay blessed. Let's go. Simon, see you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Thanks, Miles. Scott, see you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. Have a great night or a great day, no matter where you are around the world. See you tomorrow, sir.